Let me indulge y'all in a little story. There were three men. One of the men knew the woods very well. I mean, very well. He knew that the right side of the woods, everything was safe. But he also knew on the left side of the woods, it was dangerous. There were a lot of poisonous snakes. And if you go on the left side of that woods, you shall surely die. So even though the guys that he talked to, I mean, he talked about everything. I mean, they talked about music, sports, their hobbies, their childhood lives, their parents, their romance, like their loved ones, everything. They even helped set up the tent together. They roast marshmallows together. I mean, they pretty much just had a ball. You know what I mean? And they was in the woods for I think like 3 weeks and stuff, right? So, in spite of all of that, one of the guys decided like, hey, I'm gonna get some more log for the fire. So he goes into the left side of the woods. Now, remind you, the person who knew the woods never opened his mouth. So the one guy going to the left side of the woods to find some logs. Obviously, within 5 minutes in that left side of the woods, he dies. 20 minutes pass, and of course the other guy's like, man, what the heck did he go? Like, why he's not back? So then the other guy gets up, he walks to the left side of the woods, and then of course, 5 minutes later, he dies, and of course, the guy's the only one there. So of course, when you look at his hands, his hands is bleeding profusely, and it's just nonstop. He looks up in the sky, and he hears a voice and said, the weight of their fate is on your hands. That's what he heard. So what's the point of this whole story? The whole point of the whole story is that this guy knew what happens in the left side of the woods. Like, he knew exactly what happened. He knew the dangers of it, but he never opened up his mouth. This reminds me in Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 8, where it says, if I tell the wicked, you shall surely die, and nor speak of the wicked for their wicked ways to save their life, then the wicked will die for his iniquity, and the blood will remain on your hands. And that is because you knew the truth, but you never opened up your mouth to speak. So let me ask you a question. Have you shared the gospel with your family members? Have you shared the gospel to your coworkers? Have you shared the gospel with that homeless person that be at the corner of Wawa or in the front of the building of Wawa? Have you witnessed to that person, that be standing in the island part of the highway, when he's asking for money? Have you shared the gospel with somebody even at the grocery store, or just walking past? Have you done that? See, most of us, we see these people every day, but we walk past them every day without even opening our mouth to say Jesus loves you, without letting them know that for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a good hope in the future. Sometimes we move so fast in our busy day of lives or whatever, we get so busy that we just don't have a passion for people like we should. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 30 said, the fruit of a righteous is a tree of life. He that winneth souls is wise. And the fact that even in Luke chapter 10, verse 19, where it says, for the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost, which is pretty much a model for every believer to follow Christ's role model when it comes to saving the lost. And that's what we need to do. We need to have a passion for God. We need to have a passion for saving souls, to become soul winners, because we're living in the last days, and people are dying left and right. And most of us, we see a lot of these people on a day-to-day basis, but you don't even know when their time is going to come. And you might be the only voice that they hear, and they may need that, so you have to be the one to warn them. You have to be the one to share the gospel to them. You have to be the light that shines to other people. And I hope this helps. Peace.